Oh my God, man, I don't know where these people come from. Like Andrew Dice Clay stated so beautifully, where the fuck do they grow you? Good old Dice, where do they grow you? Multiple sources high up. Gotta be fucking stoned out of your mind if you think Roman Reigns is over, clown. Multiple sources high up in WWE have confided in me, says this source, with some very serious and damning information. It would appear if Kevin Dunn is leading a small task force in the WWE at the personal order of Vincent Kennedy McMahon to pay fans to support Roman Reigns both at television tapings and on social media. Focus groups are showing an alarming few number of WWE fans like Reigns, so WWE is paying them large sums of money to make sure that this isn't the case. The amounts have not been confirmed, but I've been told anywhere, not me personally, this clown's been told anywhere from $100 to $200 per fan at live events to throw away their anti-Roman signs and replace them with pro-Roman signs, depending on the seating. You know, depending on if they're on camera or able to be picked up on television or not. Now, on social media, fans are being paid anywhere from $1 to $10 per tweet, which, I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility that that would be the case, because no one walking this planet could be as delusional as the people that I see on social media. And then $5 to $20 per Instagram post, and then $1 to $3 per Facebook comment. Obviously, Facebook being the weak link of social media, where Instagram and Twitter are the most valuable. Now, these numbers are varying depending on influence, clearly, and reach. Now, it's been noted that Kevin Dunn and Vince McMahon are both petrified at the animosity, disdain, and growing indifference towards Roman Reigns, and are doing everything they can to shift the narrative in their favor. This task force has been in place since January of 2017, but is only coming to light now as WWE employees are fed up and think this needs to be exposed at all costs. It is an estimated number that this task force has spent $5.8 million so far on fan payouts, with no real ceiling to the budget. Fans are signing very powerful non-disclosure agreements that would result in excessive fines if violated, which means this story will be denied up and down now that it's been broken. However, if enough fans make a big enough stink about it, this could have massive implications. So let WWE hear your voice with the hashtags. Hashtag stop Roman payouts at all costs. And hashtag never Roman. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to be the first to announce to everybody that, whether you believe me or not, I couldn't give a single fuck, I do not hate Roman Reigns. You see, the internet loser who wants to come across a tweet of mine on social media, whether it's retweeted by someone that you're following, or if it's quoted, or if you look up hashtags during the show and you see my reach and influence above everybody else, because that's normally the case. And you'll see that I am the most liked and the most retweeted entity in the community when talking and watching WWE programming during your Mondays and Tuesdays. It may look to you that I hate Roman Reigns, but I don't. I do not hate Roman Reigns. You see, if you will have cleaned the fucking garbage out of your ears and actually came off as a normal human being instead of a blithering idiot, you will have realized that my problem lies and my problem stems from the forced initiative of WWE shoving Roman Reigns down our throats. Roman Reigns will forever be a creative failure. Nothing WWE does from this moment on will resonate with me or the majority of the fans because it is indeed a forced agenda. Roman is not a tough guy. Roman has played every leading role that could be imagined in WWE and failed at every single one of them. Whether it's his fault or not, who cares? He's a failure. Most of this lies on WWE. Roman is not scot-free in this instance. He is to blame for some of the things going on here because he is an uncharismatic clown who thinks he's bigger than he really is, and he's not. When I think WWE, I do not think Roman Reigns, and that's all you need. That is all you need. When you think of a company, you don't think Roman Reigns. When you think of the New York Yankees, you think Mariano Rivera, Derek Jeter, Don Mattingly, Scott Brosius. You think Joe Torre. You think 1996 World Series. You think of those individuals. Jim Leyritz, Paul O'Neill, Bernie Williams. Right? When you think of the Chicago Bulls, you think of Michael Jordan, Scottie Pippen, Dennis Rodman. Right? When you think of, let's see, when you think of the New York Knicks, you think of John Starks. You think of Patrick Ewing. When you think of the Atlanta Braves, you think of Chipper Jones, Greg Maddux, John Smoltz, Tom Glavine, Steve Avery, Bobby Cox. When you think New York Rangers, you're thinking Wayne Gretzky. When you think WCW, you think Hulk Hogan. You think Sting. You think Ric Flair. You think Eric Bischoff. Ted Turner. What I'm trying to get at, and some of those names really don't have anything to do with the forefront. You know, Bischoff and Turner are like behind the scenes guys, but everything else that I mentioned is right there. When you think of WWE, you do not think immediately Roman Reigns. You don't. And if you do, you don't know jack shit. Roman Reigns is nothing more than a cog in the machine that is there hand-chosen by WWE because they want him there. WWE back in the day listened to the audience about who the audience wanted. It seems the more and more we speak, and the more and more we want, and the more we cheer for those that we want instead of Roman Reigns, the more Roman Reigns we actually get. I hate how everything is forced from Roman Reigns, or about Roman Reigns. Do I think this story is complete bullshit? Absolutely 100%. Do I think some of it has truth littered in it? Yes, absolutely. Do I think WWE is paying fans? Yes, I do think they're paying fans. Do I think WWE is hiring plants to cheer for Roman Reigns? It was evident just a couple of months ago where that one little vocal part of the crowd when everyone was dead silent or booing the fucking living shit out of this guy, they were chanting, Roman, Roman, Roman. And it was like 3 or 4 of them. You can't fucking tell me that those guys weren't planted there or paid. But $5.8 million for fan payouts? I don't believe that for 1 second. And I'm not going to sit here and spew unnecessary hate towards a guy that, A, I have no issue with, and the only issue that stems from Roman Reigns is the way that he's booked and the way that he's portrayed. I don't want to hear, oh, JD hates Roman, oh, JD is obsessed with Roman, oh, JD, every video he does is about Roman, 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 which is another issue I'll talk about in a second, because people fucking pissed me off this week. $5.8 million. Where the fuck are you getting that number from? How did you come up with that number? You do realize that WWE is a publicly traded company. WWE somehow kept $5.8 million of their own money spent away from investors and stockholders? Now all of a sudden this is coming out to social media and coming out to the public. You don't think that would have a damning influence on the stocks and the way WWE shareholders and investors worry about how WWE is conducting business for one man and one man only? I don't think, based on that aspect, that any of this is true. Is there truth littered in it? Absolutely. Does WWE do everything that I just mentioned with the plants, possibly paying fans? Absolutely. I've had fans come to me personally on social media and tell me, JD, I was in attendance and I seen people being escorted out of the building due to their anti-Roman remarks or signs or t-shirts. This is nothing new. You don't need to read this stupid bullshit online to know that WWE is at least playing the game of what this guy is talking about. But to an extent of $5.8 million in fan payouts and signing non-disclosure agreements? No. They'll pay fans. They'll hire plants. They will monitor the sound, raise the volume for Roman, and lower it when it's against Roman. We've all seen it. Don't bullshit me. And if you are one of those people who think, no, then you're a fucking idiot. And I don't know what the fuck you're doing. Or what you're watching, what you're listening to. I don't even know why the fuck you're even here. Why you're alive, why you're breathing. Why? If you're going to spew such stupidity to me. This is nothing new. But I do not hate Roman Reigns. Do I think Roman Reigns fans are the dumbest fucking people alive? Absolutely. I don't know what the fuck these people do on a day-to-day basis, but clearly it's not for the betterment of their own lives or this society. Why is Roman Reigns a talked about thing in every video? Might you ask? Does it piss you off? Good. I'm glad it pisses you off. Because I'm doing my job. If you don't like it, don't watch. Giving you the same rhetoric you people give me. You don't like it, don't watch. LeBron James is a talking point in every fucking sports center. Why is that? He's the biggest name that the sport has. Roman Reigns is a talked about issue for all the wrong reasons, mind you. Am I supposed to ignore all the Roman Reigns talk? Why? So my paychecks look a little less? So my views look a little less? Of course I'm going to ride the wave of what's most talked about. What the fuck do you want me to talk about? No, instead of Roman Reigns, let me talk about some fucking indie promotion that nobody knows exists. Let me talk about the women that you got in WWE who can't even fucking out-wrestle a paper bag. Let me talk about James Ellsworth. Why don't I go cover GTS? and do reviews on Grimm's Toy Show. The fuck do you want me to talk about? People are dumb. Don't like it, don't watch. You do realize that I have to talk about it because it's my job. I work from home. I operate a business. I'm an LLC. If I didn't watch the show and talk about the show, I don't make money. And I'm damn good at what I do. Are you going to sit here and tell me why I talk about Roman Reigns when he's in the main event of fucking SummerSlam and 7 of the 16 segments on Raw are about Roman Reigns? What the fuck do you want me to talk about? Do you want me to pretend like it never fucking happened? I wish! I wish he wasn't even on TV, let alone in the main event. So I'm going to sit here and tell you how I think WWE is manipulating you. How WWE's brainwashing you. How WWE takes you for a goddamn fool. How everything they do is for Roman. Get with the program. We may be headed towards an inevitability, but that doesn't mean I'm not going to talk about what I see on television and give you my point of view. Apparently people think it's a crime for me to have a podcast. You got some podcasts that talk about the positives and are for the ones who find no negatives in the product and who want to suck dick, that WWE corporate dick, and are afraid to say anything bad. Then you got guys in the middle who will say, yeah, it sucks, but yeah, it's also good. And then you got guys like me who will tell you when it's good, knows when it's good, will tell you when it's bad, and if it's bad, I'm gonna fucking tell you when it's bad, and why it's bad, and what they need to do to make it better. What we seen on Monday Night Raw was not the step in the right direction. In fact, they're getting worse with what they're doing. Brock Lesnar's in the locker room, dressing room, reading fucking magazines with feet propped up on the table, asking Paul Heyman to go get him a baked potato and a steak medium. Would you like some cheese and chives and sour cream and extra butter on the side with that, Mr. Lesnar? I can make a call to Titus O'Neil. He makes the best baked potato in town. But he don't know. He don't watch the fucking show. Never mind watch the show. He's never at the show. So how the fuck does he know what Titus O'Neil's got cooking up and catering? Brock Lesnar speaking on the behest of everybody else. Paul, why would I watch the show? Good fucking point. Why would you watch the show when it's littered with nothing but Roman Reigns? Ratings in the toilet, lowest in the history of Monday Night Raw. Why are the ratings in the toilet? Why is nobody watching the show? Do I need to explain it to you? First of all, Brock Lesnar was on Monday Night Raw acting as if he doesn't care. We already knew that. But the difference between this Brock Lesnar all of a sudden and the April version of Brock Lesnar, a span of 4 months, is wildly bizarre. Now he doesn't give a fuck. Now on WrestleMania season, he was wanting to kill Roman Reigns and beat him up and teach him a lesson. Now all of a sudden he doesn't give a shit about Roman Reigns. Not one mention of Roman Reigns from Brock Lesnar. Not one instance in where they cross paths. Nothing. Nothing. So, is Brock Lesnar pretty much going into this expecting to win, knowing he's going to win, cocky as all hell, and he's going to just get his ass kicked? Is that what you're trying to tell me? Are you unceremoniously going to kick Brock Lesnar out of the WWE after all this time to make Roman Reigns look that much better? Then WWE uses Kurt Angle, they use Police, they use Baron Corbin, they used Finn Balor. Oh yes. They used all of the above to get Roman Reigns over on Monday night. Finn Balor lost to Baron Corbin, then Baron Corbin got his fucking teeth knocked down his throat by Roman Reigns as he was escorted out of the building by police. You didn't see that though, right? How many people picked up on that though, right? So Balor was nothing but a little setup boy for Baron Corbin to get a big win and then be Mr. Bully to Roman Reigns, getting his teeth knocked out, and then be escorted out of the building was Roman by police. Because we're supposed to feel bad for him, right? The authority figure is issuing the police to take Roman Reigns out of the building. Roman didn't even do anything wrong. Roman wasn't taken out of the building for punching Baron Corbin in the mouth. Roman was taken out of the building because of nothing. Of nothing. Underneath that nothing was WWE wanting to build sympathy because Reigns didn't do anything. And he's got to be escorted out of the building because Stephanie McMahon wants to save the SummerSlam main event. Do you know how lame that sounds? Do you know how lame that sounds? Bogus. Then they got Kurt Angle in the ring. He's getting F5'd. Paul Heyman's used as another fucking prop in this agenda. Brock Lesnar's turning on Paul Heyman, which either means one of two things. One, Paul Heyman's going to find a new client, period. Or B, Paul Heyman's going to align himself with Roman Reigns and we're going to get a Roman heel turn. Which probably won't happen because WWE's too fucking stupid to think that would actually work. But Paul Heyman was used in this agenda to finally get Brock Lesnar to the point of, I don't give a shit. Meanwhile, everybody's going to be cheering, we want Roman, which were faint chants and barely audible chants from children and women. Oh, but JD, aren't the women and the children the majority audience of the WWE, man? Isn't that their target audience, man? Yeah, but what you didn't hear, or what you refused to hear, is that WWE was audibly lowering the volume of the rest of the crowd. And then I got fucking losers, degenerates, irrelevants on social media sending me clips of their fans at the show where it sounds like one man is chanting, we want Roman. No, we don't. Well, because one of your fans wants Roman, that doesn't mean an arena, a stadium full of 13,000 people want Roman. And who were they going to want anyway? Who the fuck were they going to want anyway? Miami is Roman's hometown. If they didn't want him there, they ain't going to want him anywhere. I love how people are spinning the agenda, oh, well, Roman was over. Roman got cheered. Roman. Yeah, sure. In Miami, where it sounded like the same thing that I've heard for the last 4 years. A small minority of fans wanted Roman. The majority of the fans, that if you listened, because I got it on DVR and my hearing is fucking exquisite, either said, no, we don't, or Roman sucks. But you didn't hear that, though, right? All you wanted to do was focus on the we want Roman chants. Some people couldn't even make it out. They thought that they were saying we want Strowman or we want Hogan. You can't win with these people. They are delusional. But the WWE tried literally everything on Monday Night Raw to get this guy over. And I ask you, for what? For what? You think Roman's going to just waltz on into Brooklyn? You think he's going to waltz on into New York City and all of a sudden be the hero that everybody so desires? Are you fucking serious? Because one night in Miami is going to erase 4 years of misery by the WWE upon its fans. Are you out of your mind? I will give no credit to WWE. They are well beyond asking for credit for a job well done. WWE has tried, and the more they try, the more desperate they appear and seem. It's not working. Roman is not over. Roman is still portrayed and miscast. Roman is in a unwanted, undesirable main event. Undeservedly, nobody cares for it. It's either they don't care for it or they are of the opinion of just get it over with and please end this misery. Can we be on the road to find out who's going to take the title from Roman? And if WWE is smart, they would probably have Strowman cash in and save us all on August 19th. But the fact that WWE has done literally everything under the sun to try and get this guy over, it doesn't resonate. It's not genuine. It's unnatural. It's forced. Just like Roman speaking on Monday Night Raw saying that Lesnar's going to be his bitch at SummerSlam. Why would anybody believe Lesnar's going to be Roman's bitch at SummerSlam when Lesnar, every single time, WrestleMania 31, then at WrestleMania 34, at the Greatest Royal Rumble, and everywhere in between, has made him his bitch. Even last year at SummerSlam. What happened last year? Did Roman get pinned? Did Roman get an F5? Was Roman pinned by Brock Lesnar? Yes. Roman is Brock's bitch. What has Roman done to have anybody believe that he's going to make Lesnar his bitch? This is how stupid people are. Even if you're a fan of Roman, how do you believe anything that comes out of his mouth? He's a failure. He's a creative failure. And everything that comes out of his mouth is nothing but darts missing the dartboard. Try. Fail. Desperation. No, but I'll get comments of, JD, why did you spend 30 minutes on Roman Reigns? Because I want to. And he's the main event of SummerSlam. But I wanted to tell you guys this little story that I got sent to me. This was all over Twitter. He expected it to go viral. It only has, as of right now, as of 2:30 in the afternoon, 202 likes and 145 retweets with 282 comments. This is coming from the Twitter handle at Peter Carnivals. Apparently he works for WWE. I would assume that this guy is a smelly virgin who lives in his mother's basement, who wants to talk shit about Roman Reigns to get himself over in the process. I don't talk about Roman Reigns to get myself over. Everything I talk about Roman Reigns is the God-honest truth. Everything I talk about Roman Reigns is what you are not seeing on television. I don't hate Roman Reigns. I hate the Roman Reigns political agenda and how WWE has manipulated everybody into thinking that we want Roman when in actuality we don't. You know, the definition of insanity is doing something over and over again expecting a different result. When you fail the first time, you try again with the same result. No. If WWE gets Roman Reigns over, I will be the first to tell you that Vince finally had it work after 4 years. If not, I'm going to tell you what WWE has done again for 2018 at its second biggest pay-per-view of the year. SmackDown Live was better than Raw. What else is new? It doesn't take a lot to be better than Raw. I could watch fucking Guy's Kitchen. Or what's it, Supermarket Sweep, whatever the fuck is on. Guy's Culinary Kitchen, or whatever the fuck he's got on, Food Network. You know? Is better than Monday Night Raw. I could watch the Food Network, and I could watch 6-year-old children baking. Kids Baking Championship is more entertaining than Monday Night Raw. SmackDown Live, it doesn't take a lot to be better than Monday Night Raw, but SmackDown Live has a lot more guys that I'm invested in compared to Monday Night Raw. Where Raw was the Roman show, at least SmackDown Live spread the wealth. We had Becky Lynch, we had Randy Orton, we had Samoa Joe, we had Almas and Rusev. We had some good stuff on SmackDown Live. The big talking point from SmackDown Live I made was Charlotte being positioned again for an illogical reason to be in the SmackDown Live Women's Championship match at SummerSlam. I don't want to harp on the fact that I think this is Becky Lynch getting fucked over again because I don't know where they're going with this Becky Lynch storyline. This may be one of two things. A, Becky's going to win it and overcome the odds, or B, Becky's going to be frustrated, lose, and then turn heel. The positives of Charlotte being in the match with Carmella and Becky is that by an automatic light bulb going off in everybody's head, we should all assume that the match is going to be a lot better with Charlotte being there with Becky and Carmella compared to if it was Becky and Carmella by themselves. That match would have been awful. But with Charlotte being there, I guess we can't complain too much because she's going to make the match better, making it a triple threat match. But again, the whole rant I went on with Tuesday's episode of SmackDown Live review was the fact that Charlotte just takes 2 months off to rehabilitate from injuries or, fix her and she just waltzes on into SmackDown Live and she gets a championship match for doing absolutely nothing. At least WWE, the right thing to do would have booked Charlotte versus Asuka at SummerSlam and make that a number one contenders match. Because, listen, if Charlotte wants to be number one contender, listen, honey, you got to go through Asuka to get to that title shot. Because Asuka was the one fucked over and hasn't gotten a rematch. Then you could have kept Becky and Carmella. And I guess we could have trusted Becky to bring a good match out of Carmella. But I don't think that would have worked out that way. And I guess Charlotte is going to be thrown in there to kind of make it a passable match. And then Asuka's going to pretty much miss the show. So I'm trying to look at it in a different way. Becky could be set up for disappointment and then turn heel. Becky back in NXT wasn't the Becky that we see now. This is a smarter Becky, a more knowledgeable Becky, a better actor Becky. I think if WWE wanted to turn Becky heel, they could certainly do that, and I think she would make a believable heel. But Charlotte is the far better heel, but I don't think WWE is going to turn Charlotte heel for PR reasons. Because she's a flair, she's a noticeable name, she's a spotlighted name, and with Evolution coming up, Charlotte's going to be at the forefront of Evolution, and they don't really want to push a major heel in that role when you already have Alexa Bliss doing that. So, I think they keep Charlotte babyface now. Like I said, Charlotte is a better heel, and I think if you're going to sell me on a match with Ronda Rousey and Charlotte, you don't necessarily need to make Charlotte heel, but I think the match would benefit greater if Charlotte is a heel going into that match with a babyface Ronda Rousey. But listen, Becky, I hope, wins the championship. I want justice for Becky. Charlotte should have at least gone through the gauntlet to be put in a title match instead of having her just show up on SmackDown Live and be put in a title match. It wouldn't really have hurt SummerSlam's stock if Charlotte wasn't on the show. Really, I'm being honest with you. I think Charlotte's overrated, number one. Number two, SummerSlam would not have suffered one bit if Charlotte was not on the card. So WWE pretty much pushed Charlotte as if she was the female Roman Reigns, and she got a title match for doing absolutely nothing. That's the part that bothers me. So I don't like shit being handed out with no logical reason given behind it. Why did she get a title match? She's a flair. That's the only thing I took away from that. And I love Becky, and I want justice for Becky, and I want Becky to win the championship. If it's not going to Asuka, then by all means, Becky is probably my second choice on SmackDown Live's women's division. Almas and Vega. Almas and Vega versus Rusev and Lana. That's probably what they're doing for SummerSlam. And it makes sense. Neither individual in Almas or Rusev had anything to do. Vega, she can wrestle. And WWE might want to start utilizing her a little bit more in the ring because she can wrestle. And if Lana has been spotlighted as, she's really been training and working and has gotten better in the ring, why not do a mixed tag team match? That would be the perfect match to open that show. Rusev Day chance to open SummerSlam. Almas is a great enough wrestler to get that crowd going behind him for his work ethic. Rusev Day, it's self-explanatory. You got the cat fight between Lana and Zelina Vega. That's a great opening match and a great spot for two guys going into this who had nothing to do. Nothing to do. So I like that. And we've seen a glimpse of that, and we've seen a potential match-making situation happen on Tuesday. I'm all for it. It's better to have those guys on the show together, doing something together, working together, instead of not having them on the show whatsoever. But I do think WWE missed the boat with Aiden English and Rusev as potential tag team champions, because that division is dead right now. There's not a team right now with solid momentum underneath them. I think if Rusev Day was the ones challenging the Bludgeon Brothers for a title shot at SummerSlam, then that would be a match I think a lot of people can get invested in. Right now, WWE is really teetering on the I don't care for the tag team titles on SmackDown Live. If Rusev Day was there, I think we would have a much better situation for the tag team championships, because they're a babyface team that people want to invest in. And by that account, when you have a babyface team like that, you're going to make whoever's in the ring with them that much greater as a heel. That's the way it works. Randy Orton, speaking of heels, Randy Orton is brilliant at what he's doing so far. I think WWE has been absolutely masterful, and I don't use those terms with WWE Creative. They have been masterful in booking Randy Orton as a heel. You can tell that they're carefully crafting what they want to do with Randy Orton. And I said this on SmackDown Live Review. Randy Orton is a heel that, by all accounts, with what he's done so far, is going to make the casual audience fucking hate him. Everything that he's done is going to make Jeff Hardy's revenge that much more sweeter for the audience in attendance, because that's how great Randy Orton's role has been so far since he's been coming back as a heel. Now, Randy Orton is always, with my type of audience, with the hardcore audience, is going to be respected for his work ethic. I'm not going to be the one sitting in the audience crying over the fact that he's beating the shit out of Jeff Hardy. Randy Orton right now is doing wonders for the casual audience. He's the guy playing a villain right now against a over babyface in Jeff Hardy that is going to make that audience want to see him get his ass kicked. He's the type of guy playing a role right now against a babyface that is generally loved by everybody, where your kids are watching at home and they're going to turn their head away in disgust, afraid of what Randy Orton's doing because he's beating Jeff Hardy so badly. He's the type of villain that's going to allow mothers to take their children away from the television because they deem it inappropriate. How could you do that to Jeff Hardy? And that is fantastic television. Absolutely fantastic television. And my type of audience is going to be like, wow, Randy Orton's playing a great role. What could he do against the likes of an AJ Styles? What could he do against the likes of a Daniel Bryan? You know? And believe me, we're going to get Orton. We're going to get Styles. If Orton keeps up on this route, we may be wanting Randy Orton to beat AJ Styles for the WWE Championship. You got to give credit where credit is due. WWE don't do enough good things for me to say anything good about them. Whatever they're doing with Randy Orton is fucking working. Samoa Joe, the other great heel on WWE's main roster, told AJ that he respects the grind, he respects the work ethic, he respects the fact that he opted to live out of a suitcase for all these years, working, just desiring to be the very best at his craft, to bring the WWE Championship to relevance again, making it the #1 title in the entire company, the most prestigious title in the company. But what have you done? You've given up family life at home. You talk about your daughter, you talk about how loving of a husband you are to your wife. Come SummerSlam, you neglected your family for this lifestyle. Come SummerSlam, they're going to be cheering me on because they want their daddy. Your wife wants her husband back home. And I'm going to make you feel like you gave up the most important things of your life to get where you are, and I'm going to take everything away from you and make you feel like you wasted every minute of your career. That's exactly the vibe I got from Samoa Joe's promo. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Some people were telling me, JD, I don't know why they went the personal route. These guys know each other like they know their own families. They've been together time and time and time again on the indies in the ring. They don't need to be reacquainted. They don't need to fight over just the WWE Championship. Joe wanted to make it personal. Joe made it personal. Now AJ Styles is going to rebut against Samoa Joe on SmackDown Live. And I haven't really been a fan of AJ Styles' promo work, but the fact that Samoa Joe made it so personal, I am now interested and invested to see what AJ Styles says in rebuttal against Samoa Joe. SmackDown Live was great, man. The Miz and Daniel Bryan. I got news on Daniel Bryan today, so I'm not really going to talk about that here. Apparently, Daniel Bryan has not signed with the WWE. And there's a reason why WWE had The Miz cut that promo on Tuesday night, mentioning Daniel Bryan, why don't you just let your contract expire? Go back to the gymnasiums. Go back to the bingo halls where you used to wrestle in. There's a reason why that was said. And the rumor going around is that WWE may be very, very frustrated with negotiations with Daniel Bryan and the fact that he may not have signed a deal like some people have already claimed he did. NXT. I told you guys about NXT on yesterday's video. Tommaso Ciampa stating NXT is now the A show. it was always the A show. That was never in question. This is now his NXT. Johnny Gargano is to blame. He's blaming himself for Tommaso Ciampa becoming the NXT champion. A lot of people were claiming that the NXT universe is turning against Johnny Gargano. I don't think that's the case at all. I mentioned the analogy on Thursday's video when I covered NXT. Johnny Gargano was a overzealous, rebel-like child who wanted to do what he wanted to do. Whatever he thought up, he thought was right. And the parents, no matter how many times, said, no, 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 no. These are the consequences that will be. Johnny went ahead and did it anyway. So NXT has a new champion thanks to Mr. Gargano. The fans, who in this analogy could be the guiding parents, are going to punish their son, Johnny Gargano. The NXT universe, all the parents. Johnny Gargano is the rebellious son. You deserve it. We told you it was going to end miserably and badly. You didn't listen to us. So that's what's going to happen. So now you deserve it. You suffer the consequences. You get back up on your feet and do what we say, and then you'll be the NXT champion. That's the vibe I got from that promo. But Aleister Black is the wild card in all this. He's blaming Johnny. Johnny's blaming Johnny. You wanted to take care of business when I told you I had it. You're going to get a black mass for your troubles, and that's exactly what happened. So now a triple threat match is all but confirmed. It hasn't been confirmed by Regal, but I'm sure it's going to be Gargano, Almas, and... not Almas. Gargano, I don't know why I mentioned Almas. But Gargano Almas do have the best match in all of NXT, or possibly WWE all year. Gargano, Black, and Ciampa. That's going to be the main event for TakeOver. Shayna Baszler does great work and is continuing to do great work. I mentioned on NXT how I think a lot of people might get behind Candice LeRae more so than Kairi Sane to beat Shayna Baszler. So they better watch out for that. You know, Candice LeRae brought Shayna Baszler to a great match. We're finally seeing Kairi Sane come into her own. The Kairi Sane that we thought we were getting coming out of the Mae Young Classic, instead of this cosplay pirate princess that really doesn't have a set of balls underneath her. We haven't seen an aggression from Kairi Sane. So now we're seeing Kairi Sane be aggressive, but it may be too little too late. Because when you got a babyface like Candice LeRae that's cut from the same cloth as her husband, Johnny Gargano, it's going to be very difficult to want to see her not beat Shayna Baszler, or her not be the one to beat Shayna Baszler for the title. And I mentioned that, and I went in depth on NXT Review. You know, WWE has a lot of different ways they could go about this women's championship situation in NXT. It could be Candice beating Shayna. It could be Bianca Belair and Candice LeRae. It could be Kairi beating Shayna. Kairi beating, or Kairi feuding with Bianca. Bianca beating Kairi. Candice and Kairi. It could be a mixture of everything. It could be LeRae and Belair. You know? You got a different perspective on a bunch of great matchups, possible matchups in NXT. But it may be that the fans want more Candice than they do Kairi. I don't know. We'll see how Brooklyn takes to it, but WWE may have missed the boat for now. I'm not saying she's never going to be NXT champion or women's champion, but I think Kairi Sane may have missed the boat right now for the women's championship in NXT. And again, do you really want the title off Shayna Baszler? There would only be one reason why you take that title off her, and that would be if you're moving her up to the main roster for a potential 4-on-4 showdown with the Horsewomen. Shayna Baszler is 37 years old, 36, 37 years old. The window is very small for her to have a main roster run. So you better move her up when she's prime and at the peak of her run. So WWE could very well be taking the title off Shayna Baszler. But then again, you think about it. Do you really want Shayna Baszler without the NXT Championship? She is the very best thing in that division. And you don't take the title off the very best in your division. Adam Cole vs. Ricochet was announced for the North American Championship. EC3 vs. Velveteen Dream was announced for TakeOver Brooklyn. Mustache Mountain versus the Undisputed Era, O'Reilly and Strong at TakeOver Brooklyn. TakeOver Brooklyn, like I stated, is going to be SummerSlam. SummerSlam is taking place on August 18th. SummerScam is taking place on August 19th. So that is your week in review. 205 Live had a little bombshell, not for storyline purposes, but Cedric Alexander, which we'll talk about here. Cedric Alexander's past came back to haunt him. Tweet and delete happened all over social media in the last couple of days. Not only with Cedric, but Ty Dillinger as well. So we got some information now on Cedric Alexander, and people are already asking for his head and a removal from the NXT Cruiserweight or the WWE Cruiserweight Championship. So we'll go over that today. A lot of stuff to get into. That is your open to Off the Script, man. I wanted to touch on literally everything. That's what we do here, week in review. Okay, I wanted to talk about this fake story going around just so that you guys know that it's not real. I doubt it's real, unless you hear it from a credible source, it's not real. So don't believe that WWE paid out $5.8 million to get the Roman Reigns initiative over. There's a lot of shit that doesn't make sense there. So I wanted to bring that to your attention and make you all aware of that. Go over WWE Raw, SmackDown, NXT like we usually do. And we're going to hit the intro right now, and then we're going to hit the news and rumors on this Friday's episode, August 3rd, 2018. This is episode 233, part number 1. To start your weekend the only way I know how, man, with Off the Script.
Right now being attacked by the House of Gangone.
The House of Gangone finishing what Smiley couldn't. Look at Smiley, Shapiro. He is beside himself right now.
I don't even think he knows where he is right now.
And if Red wasn't dreaming before, he's dreaming right now. Dreams by the waterfall, Gangone. Did I hear him right, Shapiro? He's forcing Smiley to put Red through those wooden slates on the outside.
And now Juba being tasked with putting the Amazing Red through that door. Lewis and Odin.
Oh my God.
No.
Jesus Christ. Gentlemen, have we seen the end of the Amazing Red?
Is anyone going to go and check on him?
Wait, private party's out now. And we've got people out checking on Red.
This sick son of a bitch, Anthony Gangone. I don't believe what we just seen here tonight.
Don't start none.
I don't
Won't
believe
be
it.
none. The Amazing Red wanted to come after Anthony Gangone, come after the House of Gangone. He's paid the consequences. This show was called Fair Warning, and it wasn't a marketing ploy. That right there is a fair warning to any man who dares come near the House of Gangone.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a night here at Fair Warning. Unbelievable, the House of Gangone walking off, relishing in their victory. We may have seen the end of the Amazing Red's career here tonight. Off this shitty fucking product by coming on here and speaking the fucking goddamn truth about this fucking filth.
And I can book a better show taking a fucking dump after eating my fucking Chipotle chorizo with extra cheese.
I don't give a fuck what anybody has to say. Have I ever? Of course not.
WWE's right, man. Fuck you, Japan, and Canada, Okada. Delete! What is it, man? Can I suck your dick? What is it, man?
And this is the #1 fucking podcast.
Right here on YouTube.com! This
Is off the script. Guys, if you're not watching House of Glory, I don't know what you're doing. You're really missing out on some great shit. Not only with what I'm doing with Cutting Corners, but the amount of wrestling content that's on that YouTube channel is amazing. And that is one instance of that. The Amazing Red vs. Smiley, 30 minutes for the House of Glory World title. That was at our last event, Fair Warning. So if you guys want to go check that out, 30 minutes plus of a World Championship title match between Red and Smiley. That closing scene, you can see how great we do our shit, man. That's fucking top-notch production quality right there. Fucking Red was actually legitimately hurt. They filmed everything, and they took him to the hospital. He was fucked up after that spot, which you can see was very devastating. And I sold it the very best way that I could. I didn't know what else to say. Instead of fucking going over the top like Mauro Ranallo does, all I said was, Jesus Christ, powerbomb from the ring to the floor through a wooden door. So there you go, man. House of Glory's YouTube channel, all you got to do is go to the search bar, type in House of Glory, and you will have entertainment for hours, man. So please go and check that stuff out. If you guys want tickets to our event, if you're going to be in New York City for SummerSlam weekend, don't get lost in New York, man. Don't. You got to come to High Intensity. High Intensity 7, August 17th. Austin Aries will be there. Enzo Amore will be there. We will have Sammy fucking Callahan there. We're going to have Low Key there. And we got a major guest that is going to be so big, they are not revealing who it is yet until the day of the show. So it's going to be big, man. Plus, there's going to be a pre-show with me, and I have a monstrous guest coming with me to the pre-show panel right before High Intensity goes live. It should be fun if you're going to be in New York City. For tickets, hogwrestling.net. I want to send a thank you on behalf of my good buddy Rusty, who was well over his goal this year for his MS Bike Tour 2018. Rusty did achieve his goal. We helped him with a small portion of that, and he wants to personally send a thank you to you guys for your commitment to him and for believing in him. And he is riding this weekend, and it's going to be a great endeavor for my friend Rusty. So, Rusty, if you're listening to me, the best of luck, my friend. I know you're going to kill it. Don't worry about it, and I can't wait to hear about your progress at the end of the weekend. So thank you to everybody that donated to Rusty this year for his 2018 Bike for MS tour. So thank you guys so very much, and he wants to personally thank you as well. It's been a busy week in wrestling, man. I have a lot of things that I want to do. I can't wait for the summer to be over. I really can't. I fucking hate the humidity. I really can't stand the humidity. Living in this apartment is driving me out of my fucking mind. Everything just sucks. You know, the humidity sucks. I hate the Bronx. I'm looking for a way out. I don't know where I want to go or where I will go, but I want a way out. I want a legit office space. I want to get a green screen behind me. I want to ramp up production. I want to get a legit fucking video camera, not this fucking Logitech shit that I'm looking into right now. You know, I want to get a better microphone, but I have microphones. I just want to get a better setup. I can't wait for the summer to be over, man. I got so many ideas. I got SummerSlam coming up. I'm trying to set up a meet and greet, which we will announce tomorrow. We're going to announce the location of the meet and greet that I'm doing on NXT TakeOver Saturday, early in the afternoon. So if you guys are going to be in SummerSlam weekend mode, we're going to be in and around Brooklyn, so you guys can come on out, have some food, have some Guinness with me. It should be good. We're going to announce that on tomorrow's episode of Off the Script, so please make sure you keep an eye and an ear on where that will be and what time. If if you're going to be in Brooklyn for NXT TakeOver SummerSlam weekend. I got that coming up. I got Chicago and you know, All In. I'm going to be on Podcast Row. A lot of stuff coming up, man. Plus, I want to get the fuck out of this apartment, but I don't know how and when or where. So, you know, that's my dilemma right now. I want to do more. You know, I want to do more with the channel. I don't want to get to a point where people are starting to think it's, you know, formulaic. I don't want to become a Raw. You know, I don't want to become a Monday Night Raw, and I will not do that because we got better booking ideas here. At least we have a fucking brain here, unlike the people who run Monday Night Raw. But those are the things that I'm thinking about right now. But in due time. But I'm just kind of letting you guys know where my head is at. I want to do more. I know as far as content goes, you know, funny thing is my best friend called me and he said, dude, you got to bring back Hate Mail Monday. You got to bring back hate mail or reading mean comments. I want to do all that stuff. It's just I want to do it in a right way, you know. I want to add more content. I got WWE 2K19 coming out. God knows what the fucking game's going to play like. It's probably going to be a piece of shit. You know, everybody's anticipating the worst because they don't do anything to change the game. They want your money, and we're literally a month and a half away from release, and we got no gameplay yet. It's not the way you operate business. You know, I've got people wanting to tell me, JD, you got to go out and buy Fire Pro Wrestling for PS4, which I'll probably do, and I'll probably do a World League or something, or a Universe mode or something like that through that. I hear that they have like a kind of GM mode or a management mode or something like that, so that should be fun. You know, I want to get some wrestling gaming content on the channel, so maybe I could maneuver that in there, you know. You know, this podcast is a lot of work. You know, to sit here and I take notes weekly. I'm doing House of Glory weekly with Cutting Corners. I'm getting ready for High Intensity. You know, I got a lot on my plate right now, so I'm glad you guys are on this journey with me. Because without you guys, I'm really nothing. So thank you guys so much for sticking with me. I'm making a promise to you. You know, everything that you see here, we're not done, man. This is like fucking baby stages right now. I'm gonna amp up the production, man. I wanna go the route of going in raw. Stephen Larson, something like that, you know. I wanna ramp it up. I want a fucking desk. I wanna be better than what Sam Roberts is doing right now, you know. I just got visions. I got plans. I got ideas. I just gotta wait to put them in motion. So we'll see what happens with that. But you know, I'm stressed out all over the place, man. You know, upon other things and reasons. But yeah, that's where my head is at right now. Speaking of content, there is content up. Raw, SmackDown, NXT. I did an off-the-script extra for you guys as well. Apparently, WWE feels SummerSlam is lackluster. I wonder why SummerSlam is lackluster. Because you're giving us the same fucking shit. Every single week, every single month, it's the same old shit. And WWE is to blame. Because they don't plan storylines out, and they gave us lackluster storylines, so of course, SummerSlam is going to be lackluster. Everything after WrestleMania was lackluster. Everything after WrestleMania was lackluster. Of course, you're going to get a lackluster SummerSlam, because there's a lackluster Roman Reigns in the main event, and a Universal Champion that wants to show up one day a year. Doesn't work that way. No wonder people are feeling lackluster in the company. So if you guys want to hear my thoughts on that, that is live on the channel right now. Everything you need is in the top right corner of this video in the annotation. Follow me on Twitter at JDFROMNY206. Hit that subscribe button. Turn that bell on for notifications. 95,000 strong. Thank you guys so very much. 5,000 more. And we will be in the promised land. Thank you guys so very much. We just hit 22,300 plus on Twitter. Thank you for following me on there. I know people 4 times my size who don't have as many followers as I do. So thank you guys so much for putting up with me on social media and wanting to hear my opinion on the world of professional wrestling. Thank you guys so very much. If you guys want to support the show, there are a variety of ways to do that, and we are going to start off by one of the best ways, to me, is Barbershop Window. I may have, or actually, I may or may not have a t-shirt on that you cannot buy anywhere. It is a one-of-a-kind, and I will probably be wearing it on Saturday's show. I will probably be wearing it all weekend come SummerSlam. I will probably be sleeping in it every night, because it's that fucking epic. What is it? You're going to have to find out. You're going to have to come up and meet and greet me in New York City, SummerSlam weekend. But if you guys want your own t-shirts, you want to meet and greet me, you better be wearing a fucking t-shirt. You better be wearing something. Otherwise, no entry for you. No, I'm just kidding. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. Don't at me, motherfucker. Don't ever at me. You know I'm right. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. If you go to Barbershop Window, you're going to get 20% off. So do it. And I want to thank those who ordered this week. I got a big order from Australia. So if you are listening to me, whomever you may be, mystery person who ordered the 3 t-shirts from Australia, thank you so very much, man. That's exactly what I like to see. And they probably saved money by using the coupon code that Barbershop Window had offered them. You guys can do the same. Barbershopwindow.com/offthescript. My boy Salrex, one of the hardest designers in the game right now on social media, he is making me a Summer Scam t-shirt. And we are going to put that on a black shirt. And we are going to do that over the old school SummerSlam logo. Oh, yeah. You got to do it, man. That's a good t-shirt to buy any day of the year, not just for SummerSlam. I mean, look at that. I may have a new gimmick here. Come up with fucking lame names for these lame WWE pay-per-views. Or better names for these lame WWE pay-per-views. Harry's.com/script, free trial. You guys are going to get your blade handle, gel, and protective case. And all you have to do is pay the shipping and handling, man. You know, you go to a bar or a club and you bring your boy with you and they're going to, or at least try to be a wingman for you. Harry's is going to be your shaving wingman. When you need to look good for your nights out, Harry's has got you covered, bro. He never lets you down. Harry's.com/script for your free trial shave set. Please go do that now. It'll be delivered to you in mere days, $2 or $3 shipping and handling, and I guarantee you, you're going to love what you see, you're going to love what you feel on your face, and then you're going to buy the rest of their fucking product. If not, you guys can go to Target and buy everything they got because it's all on sale there. Harry's.com/script. But you're going to get a free trial shave set from me. So there you go. audibletrial.com/offthescript. Thank you guys so much for choosing Audible and choosing our link. You guys are going to get 1 month free of their service and 1 free audio book. Please go ahead and do that. And if you guys have already signed up, it's been a little slow because I know a lot of you guys have already used that. Tell a friend, man. Spread the word. audibletrial.com/offthescript. You guys have over 200,000 choices to choose from. Any genre your heart desires is there. So please go and check that stuff out. audibletrial.com/offthescript. And if you guys want to donate to the Patreon page, man, thank you guys so much for becoming patrons. Patreon.com/JDFROMNY206. I wanted so badly to get another Off the Script retro up because I did go back and watch the SummerSlam with Punk and Lesnar. And that was the same SummerSlam as the Bryan Cena match. So I'm going to be reviewing that one because I love that SummerSlam. I thought that was an awesome SummerSlam. So that's going to be on Patreon coming next week. So with everything that I got going on right now, House of Glory took a lot out of me yesterday. I did a lot of work at the school, did 2 shootings for cutting corners. So it's there's a lot going on, man. There's a lot going on. I'm more busy now than I ever was. So it's glad so I don't sit idle and my mind doesn't sit idle. I'm going all over the place. So that's a great way to support the show as well. Patreon. Patreon.com/JD from NY206. I do have one retro review on there if you guys want an extra hour of audio for $5 or more a month. Off the Script Retro coming at you. So we do the 1993 King of the Ring. So if you guys want to do that, you are more than welcome to. I want to start off with this story, man. A lot of people are really scratching their head over this one, and I'm not really looking too much into it. But if it does happen, I would not be surprised whatsoever. Because he is home, and I'm sure WWE will take care of him. Matt Hardy has been tweeting very bizarrely over the last couple of days, and a lot of people are speculating that he is going to retire. And at some point, everybody has to retire. We all know Matt's broken down. You can tell by the way he moves. He's limping. He can't really, his leg is all fucked up. His knees are fucked up. Years and years and years of abuse to your body with what he's done for the Hardy Boys. You know, one can only imagine how he feels. But a lot of people neglect the pain and continue doing it because it's their passion and their love, and that's also to be respected. But sometimes, people want to walk away and it's on their own terms. But other times it's due to their bodies breaking down after all the years of being in the ring. It happens to every wrestler throughout history, including every wrestler you see in WWE today. While it's not confirmed, we might be about to lose a current wrestler who seems to be hinting at possible retirement. In a new tweet, Hardy has thanked his fans for all his time over the years in every promotion he's working for. There's no reason given as to why he's thanking everybody for their support, but at 43 years old, Hardy is possibly considering retirement. Hardy's been wrestling since 1992 and debuted with the WWF back in 1998. He and Bray Wyatt recently lost the tag team titles to the B Team. Don't get me started. Ending Hardy's 10th tag team title reign in the company. He's quoted on Twitter, or at least tweeted, Matt Hardy did, "To all that supported me in the Independence and Omega. To all the fans of Team Extreme. To the Mattitude followers. To the outspoken fans who brought me back in 2005. To the people who backed me when I was reincarnated in pro wrestling. To the Woken Warriors. Thank you." If this is the end, I don't know what, is going through his head right now or why. It might be injury related. I don't really know. But if you want my honest opinion, if Hardy's going to walk away, then by all means, walk away. He has nothing to prove anymore. He doesn't. And it's not really that hard to believe that he's not going to be around much longer. I mean, again, you could just look at Matt Hardy and you can see that he's probably in a lot of pain. And I mentioned on Monday Night Raw Review how I feel like Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt as a team, they have absolutely no motivation. There's no get up and go with Matt and Bray. Now, I don't know why that is, but WWE seemingly killed the broken gimmick. TNA holding on to it for as long as they did and holding up the Hardy family in court, and WWE having to go, do the runaround to change it from broken to woken, and then finally appeared on television as woken Matt Hardy in full gimmick and all. WWE never fully embraced the broken gimmick. WWE took it because it was popular, and they watered it down, and they made it to a point where when we see it, we enjoy it, and if we see it, we laugh and cheer on Matt Hardy. And if we don't see it, we don't care. WWE has made it into a gimmick that was oh so special. They took a gimmick that potentially could have made Matt Hardy into a world title contender just based on the character alone, and they killed it. WWE watered it down. And whatever reason WWE did that, or for whatever reason WWE did that, I don't know. But it's not out of the realm of possibility to think that WWE really didn't care about the gimmick. They wanted it because it was hot then. They had it. They didn't know what to do with it. They didn't have any plans for him, and they ultimately killed it. And that's it. They took it because it was popular, and they had no prior plans to have anything happen with it. When we know Matt could have easily been a world champion. With what Matt did in TNA, that was a world championship gimmick in WWE. Mark my words. No doubt about it. Just based on the gimmick alone. If Matt was given the freedom to do what he did in Impact Wrestling in WWE, we wouldn't be seeing what we're getting now. And there were rumors going around that Matt had some sort of creative control. Matt has no creative control. We haven't seen anything special come from Matt. We haven't seen Matt's knowledge or, we haven't seen his thought process. We haven't seen his creative side at all. It seems like he's behind the wall and there's not much he can do. So if Matt wants to retire, I am going to fully support him wanting to retire. It just sucks that WWE, did this to a gimmick that we all love so much and that we all waited so long for. And WWE presents a half-ass gimmick to us that went nowhere. And was teamed with Bray Wyatt, who also went nowhere. WWE is probably going to use Matt Matt's going to always be a member of the family. There's no question in my mind, or there's no doubt in my mind, rather, that he's going to have a job with the company forever. If Matt wants to train at the Performance Center, if Matt wants to be a road agent or a producer, Matt's mind is still 100%. His body might not be, but his mind is 100%. Matt's going to have a role in WWE, whether he is in the ring or not. And if this is really it, congratulations to him for making that decision. You know, he wants to maybe be home with his family a lot more. Wolfgang and Maxel, King Maxel, his wife, you know, who doesn't travel with him often because she's got duties to do at home. You know, this could be a good thing for Matt. And he could live the remaining days of his life happy and, you know, not banged up. He's going to be banged up forever, but you don't need to add on top of that. So if this is the end, we'll see. We don't have any concrete information. Nobody knows as to why he's tweeting this stuff out. But if there is any more news on Matt Hardy, I will definitely let you guys know right here on the podcast. I want to go over the reasons. And I mentioned this just, you know, because I'm a brilliant man. I kid. I'm not that brilliant, but I know what I'm talking about. I know my shit. I mentioned this on Tuesday's SmackDown review, and I want to give you guys confirmation as to exactly where WWE is going with this. If WWE fans need proof that SmackDown Live possesses a stacked roster, a non-title feud between the most popular names in Rusev and Andrade Cien Almas proves it. Fans can rightfully argue that both stars deserve to be in the championship title picture, regardless of whether it's for the United States or WWE Championship. Based on the other title feuds taking place on the blue brand, it's clear that no title can be thrown into the mix, but it remains one of the most exciting storylines regardless of no ultimate prize waiting at the end for either man. Still, fans are living in the hope that WWE eventually pulls the trigger on both stars eventually, and becoming champions for Almas and Rusev is something fans definitely want to see. However, sources have now revealed there are several reasons why WWE has decided to book them in a storyline together. The first reported that Almas and Rusev are together is that the main basis of the two working together was in fact a platform for Almas, which is a good thing. You know, he's in there with a notable name in Rusev. It's much better than Rusev, going on a losing streak or being positioned in no fucking feud at all. It's better for Almas, much better than him feuding with Sin Cara. He's got Rusev now. It's a very good thing, if you really look at it. It was first reported that they are going to set a platform for Almas. The former NXT champion recently went against AJ Styles in a match on SmackDown Live where he put on an excellent performance that actually caught the eye of Vince McMahon. Since then, sources indicated that he impressed officials so much to an extent that they have big plans lined up for him for the remainder of the year, and it's all apparently beginning with a program opposite Rusev. Those same sources noted that the storyline between Rusev and Almas is one that's expected to go on for quite some time and won't be short-term for both men before moving on. One of the reasons that they are working together is what I already stated. The other reason is that neither of them have any other plans right now on SmackDown Live. So it's a platform for Almas, and it's a situation where Almas had nothing to do and Rusev had nothing to do. Rusev had nothing coming out of Extreme Rules with AJ Styles. We know that was a one and done. Almas had nothing at all, and now they're trying to make both guys have at least some sort of meaning on SmackDown Live. The other thing is that Zelina Vega is an integral part of Almas' act. She's actually playing Almas' business manager on screen. WWE feels like she could do more than just be an on-screen business character for Almas. People feel like she's underutilized with the amount of talent she actually does possess, and this feud allows her to have some sort of natural chemistry with Lana, being that they're both catty females. You know, Vega with Almas. Rusev obviously is married to Lana. There's a good potential for chemistry there. Pairing these two together allows WWE to use Vega's strengths more effectively, rather than just in a managerial or valet role. That is where her main role should be. I don't want WWE to misconstrue Vega's role. You know, I want her to be exactly where she was when this all started, in that managerial business management role. She can wrestle. We all know that. So you keep her in that manager role, and when she does wrestle sporadically, it's a little bit more special. Instead of having her in the ring on a regular basis, and then by, a month or two, it's going to be watered down, and it's going to be outplayed, and it's going to be not special anymore. So we saw that on this week's SmackDown as she defeated Lana in a one-on-one match. Along with this Rusev and Almas feud right now is Rusev and Aiden English. So there's a storyline with Almas and Rusev, but there's also a sub-storyline here with Aiden English, Lana, and Rusev. The expectation is that Rusev and English will eventually break up so that the former can receive a more monstrous push alongside Lana, again, which suggests that Almas could continue to get the better of Rusev. Either way, the fact that both Rusev and Almas are getting attention and a potential match on SummerSlam is most definitely welcomed by everybody, because if you have a problem with this, then you are absolutely out of your fucking mind, and you are a grade A fucking clown. I like it. And I mentioned this on Tuesday, with Lana and Vega getting involved, that's the perfect opening match for SummerSlam. Mixed tag team match, Rusev Day, Lana Day, Vega, and Almas. Boom. There you go. Last time Almas opened up a pay-per-view with Johnny Gargano in that arena, what did they do? They gave you one of the best matches of the year against Gargano. Great match. And there was no title on the line. There was nothing on the line. It was one of the best matches of the fucking year. Probably the best match on the whole fucking show. Anyway, I like it. I'm all for it. It's better than not having Almas on the show, because you guys know how big of a fan of Almas I am right now. And I think he deserves to be at the top, or at least near the top of the card right now for WWE. There's something else I wanted to see here, and here it is. It's in my notes. WWE's reason for having Finn Balor lose to Baron Corbin on Monday Night Raw. And I mentioned this in the beginning. WWE used, let's see, on Raw, Brock, Heyman, Angle, Corbin, who else did they use? They used you, or tried to manipulate you, and they used the hoax police that they had come in and escort Reigns out of the building. But if you might not have known, if you might have missed it, might have went underneath your nose, they actually used Finn Balor as well. Now, JD, you're probably asking, how did they use Finn Balor to get Roman Reigns and push the agenda with Roman Reigns on Monday Night Raw? Simple. WWE's reason for having Finn Balor lose clean to Baron Corbin on Raw is revealed. Now, as of this writing, Balor doesn't even have a match for SummerSlam. So WWE seemingly just used Balor in a setup boy role for their boy, Roman. Fans are speculating that he could either face Constable Corbin again or find his way into the Intercontinental Championship match. And I mean, I don't know what WWE would be doing creatively if they don't have Finn Balor on the show. Again, I asked, the same thing with Charlotte. If Finn Balor's not on the show, I'm not going to fucking care. I really don't. I'm at a point right now where WWE has done so little for me to care, I don't care. I doubt you guys will care either. Will it be fucked up? Yes! It's fucked up for Balor, and it shows you how fucked up WWE creative really is. The fact that he's not in a match. But why would you put a loser in the Intercontinental Championship match? I hope not. I don't want to see Balor anywhere near a fucking championship. He doesn't deserve it, especially with the way he's been treated on television right now. The guy is a grade A loser. If you're losing to Baron Corbin on Monday Night Raw clean, you should not be getting an Intercontinental Championship match over Baron Corbin. That's what Mr. Logic says. But WWE tends to go against Mr. Logic and wants to skip class. They want to go play hooky. They want to go to the arcade and play WWF the arcade game, where The Undertaker had skulls coming out of him when you knocked him down, and Yokozuna has buckets of salt that he could throw in your eyes. Or Doink can use his fucking, electric buzzer and shock you. Or throw water on you. Or take his silly little hammer and hammer you into the ground. Or Razor Ramon can pretend his arm is a fucking razor blade and fucking chop you. That game was fucking awesome, by the way. Back in the day, when you seen that game in the arcade, you realize how realistic that shit was way ahead of its time. Way ahead of its time. And when that shit came out for PS1, My dad took me to Toys R Us immediately to buy that shit. I fucking begged my parents to take me to Toys R Us to go buy that game almost immediately, bro. That shit was way ahead of its time. Midway, who made that game? Oh my God, bro. Acclaim? Fucking awesome. That game was way ahead of its time, graphically. Anyway, got off track there. You know, Balor shouldn't be in anything, and I don't even know if Balor's going to have a match at SummerSlam. Again, I stress, I don't even care. Last year, Balor went up against Bray Wyatt during their underwhelming feud, but the SummerSlam event back in 2016 is arguably the highlight of his WWE run. You know, everybody's talking about Nakamura going back to New Japan. What about Balor? You don't think Balor would like to join the OG Bullet Club? Tama Tonga? You don't think he'd want to join those guys and feud with Omega and the Young Bucks? I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. The Demon made his in-ring debut on the main roster at that point when the stakes were high, when the Universal Championship was originally frowned upon, as always, even worse so now. Since then, he's never cemented his position back in the Universal Championship picture. If his loss clean to Baron Corbin is anything to go by, on the most recent episode of Monday Night Raw, he's going to have quite the battle on his hands if he's going to become the Red Brand's most topped asset once again. Although there's nothing wrong with having a singles feud against Corbin, it's evident that it's not the feud or the position the majority of the fans want for someone of his talent to be in. He needs to be in the championship picture and needs to be a bona fide main event star. But WWE seemingly has stripped everything that made Finn Balor special. They stripped the Demon away from him. They stripped his cool, cocky appeal. Now he's for everybody, and he's Smiley Finn. I mean, the guy's house can burn down, and that very same day, he's going to be showing up somewhere doing that fucking silly smiley pose that he does, and he's not going to show you anything. You know, I want to see this guy dressed in fucking demon paint, and I want to see him emerge from the smoke and fucking kick some ass. You know, this is what I want. He's going to join the lines of the Sandows and the Barretts and the Nevilles and the Del Rios, of them just stripping everything away from him until he's basically nothing. And right now, Balor is basically nothing. He needs to be in the championship picture to be a main event star, so it comes to no surprise that some feel sorry for him when he's suffering from bad booking decisions. This is WWE's fault. I do not blame Balor for this. This is all WWE's fault. However, Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer has revealed why Balor lost clean to Corbin on this week's Raw, and it's not something the fans will like too much. Fans that tuned in to Raw will have seen the backstage altercation between Corbin and Roman Reigns. Meltzer has claimed that it was done to set up a match between Corbin and Reigns. So WWE used Balor to set up this situation with Corbin to get more heat on Corbin. So Balor was used as the setup guy to get more heat on Corbin for a match with Roman Reigns. According to sources at Sportskeeda, he said this was a setup. Meltzer says, and I quote, "I think this is pretty clear from watching the show. It looked like to me that they were doing this for a TV match with Reigns beating Corbin. Maybe next week, maybe the week after, only time will tell." So to do that, they wanted to have Corbin heat up, and Balor was the setup guy. Baron Corbin is probably going to be wrestling Roman Reigns, so this one makes sense, end quote. While it does make sense, it doesn't necessarily mean the fans will be on board with it. It will be just another fucking asterisk on the notepad as to what WWE has tried to do to get Roman Reigns over. You can add Baron Corbin to that list, potentially. Forced garbage. Forced agenda. You can take your fucking plans with Baron Joseph A. Banks Corbin and throw them away. Nobody cares. Nobody cares that he beat Finn Balor. Nobody cares about Constable Corbin. Nobody cares. This is bad television. But then you got fucking people chiming in on my timeline, on my feed, telling me I'm a fucking buffoon, calling me a neckbeard because I say Raw sucks. I don't know what the fuck they're watching. They must be watching some fucking Monday Night Raw from 1998. I don't fucking know what they're watching. Raw is garbage. Let it out. Shanti. Raw is shitty. Let it out. It's okay to let the truth breathe. You don't need Jinder Mahal to give you guys fucking shanti. Come on now. Use your fucking brains. And if you aren't using your brains, don't address me on social media. I will take care of you like that. People are already claiming he deserves better, and using him as a catalyst to get Corbin heat before he's thrown to the side doesn't do him or his stocks any fair. Finn Balor's stock is completely at fucking a penny a share right now. Worthless. Nobody's investing in Finn Balor. You can blame WWE Creative for that. Thanks, WWE Creative, for ruining one of the best things to come out of NXT. Someone who was cool, someone who was hip, someone who was must-see. Stripped everything away from him, and now Balor is absolutely fucking worthless. Worthless. Do you guys know that WWE officials are blaming Jinder Mahal for the lackluster Roman Reigns feud? Let me repeat that if you guys did not hear me the first time. WWE officials are blaming the Roman feud. WWE officials are blaming Jinder Mahal for the lackluster Roman Reigns feud that we seen. What? Yes, I have hair underneath my hat, asshole. What? How do I even address this? Now, the last time we seen Shanti, he was getting a count-out victory over Braun Strowman on Monday Night Raw. Are you going to remember that by the water cooler 3 weeks from now? Probably not. Jinder has been relegated to the mid-card, where he belongs. And it seems as if his WWE run on the main roster as a main player, or a main event player, is over. A lot of people believe WWE's failure to successfully expand into India has led to the end of Mahal's push. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa! WWE's failure to successfully expand into India has led to the end of Mahal's push? Or is it Mahal being garbage in the ring, also not really playing a good villain on TV, ended his push on television? I still don't believe that we associate WWE champion with Jinder Mahal. You do realize that this guy was champion for 6 months, right? 6 months. WWE clearly saw something in him. WWE clearly saw something in him because he beat Shinsuke Nakamura twice. At SummerSlam and again at Hell in a Cell. So clearly they saw something in him. They gave this guy the United States Championship. They gave him the U.S. title. Well after they went into India. And failed in India, apparently. So clearly they still saw something in him. But WWE's failure to successfully expand into India led to the end of Mahal's push. Why don't we just label that as Mahal is garbage and he was never a serious contender to anybody watching? That's what ended his push. Trash. But now, Dirty Sheets is reporting it's actually Jinder's failure in the Roman Reigns feud that ended his main event push. Yes, because WWE had absolutely nothing to do with that, right? Because Roman Reigns had absolutely nothing to do with that, right? Now, I don't like Jinder. I'm not going to sit here and tell you Jinder is a superstar. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Jinder was a great WWE champion like half the fucking social media blithering idiots out there. But I'm also not going to sit here and tell you that Jinder is to blame here. Who put Jinder in that position? Knowing willingly that he wasn't what he was cracked up to be. Vince McMahon. Who put Jinder in a feud with Roman Reigns knowing exactly how it would end? People on Jinder Mahal knew the guy was a failure. And you're putting a failure mixed with a failure. So you are going to get a failure as a result. Whose fault is that? That's WWE. That's Vince McMahon's fault. You put him in a feud with Roman Reigns, who is the biggest creative failure of all time. Who did that? It's Vince McMahon. Now, following the feud with Roman Reigns, WWE officials held Jinder Mahal responsible for its reception from the WWE Universe. His descent into the mid-card is because the feud with Roman showed WWE officials that he hasn't become a strong enough opponent in the eyes of the fans, and Mahal has failed to establish himself as a major player in WWE. I don't know where I could go with this. I mean, this is WWE's fault. I mean, I have a good eye for talent. I seen this. I was talking about this when he won the fucking title. All it took for you can add Jinder to the list of they do it for Roman. All it took for you was a lackluster feud with Roman Reigns. I mean, are you people fucking oblivious to everything that you heard and seen and felt when this guy was champion? What did you think the reaction was when this guy was champion? Did you think people legitimately enjoyed his fucking title reign? Did you think that they enjoyed this guy main eventing every fucking SmackDown pay-per-view that there was in 2017? Did you legitimately think people were buying pay-per-views to watch Jinder Mahal fucking main event shows? Main event SmackDown Live? Did you genuinely think that people were leaving SmackDown Live because the show all of a sudden became fucking terrible? No! Jinder Mahal was to blame for everything on SmackDown Live. As soon as he won the title, you knew he was doomed for failure. But all of a sudden, Roman isn't looked good, or Roman doesn't look good, or the fans aren't really taking to a Roman Reigns feud. Let's blame the last guy that he was in a feud with. That's all that is. There's no reason you need to point the finger of blame at Jinder Mahal here. Jinder Mahal was a failure fucking a year before this Roman Reigns feud happened. The guy was to blame for the downfall of SmackDown Live in 2017. If you didn't see that then, you people must be fucking oblivious to everything going on around you. But now you want to blame him for Roman's shortcomings. Whose fault is that? Whose fault is it that Roman has shortcomings? It's WWE. If Roman is having shortcomings, then it's either WWE's fault or a mixture of WWE and Roman's fault. It's not Jinder Mahal's fault that this feud didn't go over. This feud should have never even been born. The only reason why WWE thought that this feud was going to be good is because they used it thinking that, oh, well, Jinder is hated. You know, let's put two of the most hated guys in the ring together, knowing that both men are hated. And they thought, well, people like Roman better than Jinder, so they'll probably cheer Roman. No, it didn't work out that way. No, but you can continue thinking that whatever they're doing now is going to work. Yeah. Jinder Mahal is not to blame here. It's WWE to blame for the last 4 years. Jinder was a failure a year before this feud was even conceived. Well before he even moved to Monday Night Raw. Jinder was a failure in his own right. But he doesn't need to be blamed for something that did not go your way for Roman Reigns. Fuck out of here. Now, it's not all Jinder's fault because his WWE title reign ended abruptly because AJ Styles was believed to be the stronger opponent against Brock Lesnar for Survivor Series. He also wasn't given a lengthy run with the US title to bounce back, so his position with the WWE dropped right now to where it is. In hindsight, the real issue is Mahal's momentum was unsustainable due to his rapid push into the main event and WWE title win last year. WWE fucked up Jinder Mahal. Instead of doing the right thing and giving me Mahal as the United States champion first and then progressing to the WWE title, you did everything ass backwards because you thought it was going to work. Jinder was over for one night in 2017. The night he won a six-pack challenge on SmackDown Live and cut the best promo of his fucking life. The heat resonating from that crowd, wherever it was fucking unbelievable. I even praised Jinder on that SmackDown review. You can go back and watch it. But after what WWE clearly had planned here, it's as if they did not know at all. I seen it from week 3. We all gave it a month. We all gave it a month. He didn't make us believe in a month, and then they made him WWE champion. We gave it another month, and we knew right away that this guy was doomed to fail. He was the product of WWE accelerating a push years before it should have even happened. That's all that was. Some fans could blame Roman Reigns for Jinder's current predicament, given the endless push WWE officials continue to give him. They'll see Jinder's descent as a casualty of that push, like I just mentioned. But there are a lot of factors that have put the modern-day Maharaja into his mid-card spot. The good news is that he's having plenty of chances for future redemption. Now, speaking of Mahal, Ryan Satin has informed all of us that prior to winning the WWE Championship last year when he dethroned Randy Orton, it looks like WWE had much different plans for a returning Jinder Mahal. Mahal was initially released from his WWE contract back in 2014 after a run-in with the 3MB group. Don't remind me. After a few years on the Indies, Mahal returned and signed a WWE deal in 2016. Eventually, he found himself in the world title picture on SmackDown Live. At the end of 2017... or actually, let me rephrase that. At the end of 2017, Mahal was no longer WWE champion, but at the end of 2017's Backlash pay-per-view, Mahal, with the help of the Singh brothers, defeated the Viper to win the WWE title. Now, according to Satin of Pro Wrestling Sheet, Mahal was nearly given the gimmick of the Mahal Monitor. Someone pitched the character as a self-appointed backstage hall monitor, as you would see at Bayside High. Of course, this never came to fruition, and now we have the modern-day Maharaja, along with Sunil Singh. The Mahal Monitor. What was he going to be handing out? Fucking get out of Monday Night Raw free passes? What the fuck was he going to do? How did this gimmick expect to get over? The guy is not entertaining. He's got no charisma. He's got a monotone voice, and he sounds as if he's got the flu 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You know? The Mahal Monitor. What was he going to be doing? Was he going to be giving passes to detention? Oh, you had a shitty match. Here's your pass to detention. Can you imagine the fucking shit we would have got on Monday Night Raw? You know? Imagine him going to catering and sticking a fucking knife and a fork in a piece of chicken, and it's fucking bone dry. Right? What is he going to give Titus O'Neil a fucking pass to detention? This chicken is not juicy enough, Mr. O'Neil. Yet this guy was made WWE champion. The Mahal Monitor. I don't believe it. I don't believe this is the shit that they come up with. I'm absolutely fucking speechless. I'm absolutely fucking speechless at this shit, man. My God. My God. We're going to end with this, because I've sat here for far too long and I'm fucking sweating my ass off. Reason why The Miz insulted Daniel Bryan's career on SmackDown Live. The clock continues to tick. Tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock for Daniel Bryan's contract, with his deal set to expire in 1 month. As of this writing, there is no update on whether or not the former SmackDown Live general manager has put pen to paper, like Mr. 9 to 5. Ever since he was cleared to return to in-ring competition, reliable outlets claim that the likely scenario would be that Bryan remains in WWE, as it's something he said he would like to have happen himself. However, fans and outlets are understandably sweating to see what future has in store for him, as he's arguably going to be the hottest free agent in the business if he does decide to leave. Plus, he won't be short of potential homes. Naturally, fans were perhaps, and still are, worried about his future, as he's currently embroiled in a storyline with The Miz. It once was claimed that if WWE books this feud with The Miz before WrestleMania, then it would be a way of WWE preparing themselves for his exit. It's also why he was thrown into big dream matches on ordinary episodes of SmackDown Live with Joe and Big E and Styles. Although it now looks like WWE is slightly giving into Bryan's contract demands, as he wasn't competing on the live events over the weekend. WWE might have shown their frustration on Tuesday night via The Miz, which WWE has been known to do. The A-lister and Bryan are expected to do battle at Summer Scam, but that hasn't been announced right now. Instead, Bryan is struggling on screen to get his hands on his bitter rival, while The Miz is taunting Bryan's wrestling credentials. On this week's SmackDown, The Miz yet again dropped a comment about Bryan competing in gyms and bingo halls like he did on the independent scene. Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter claimed that this week, The Miz, in fact, took his promo so far and made jokes about Bryan performing in high school gyms, and that was a big sign that WWE might not be happy with Bryan right now, per contract negotiations. Meltzer also went in on this situation to admit that there was a lot of weird stuff going on behind the scenes regarding the entire situation. Along with this, it feels like WWE is insinuating that bingo halls and gyms will be what Bryan's future is if he doesn't resign with the company. Oh my God, dude. Could you be living in your bubble anymore, WWE? Are you fucking serious? Like, All In is a fucking gymnasium. It's a bingo hall, right? They sold 10,000 seats in 29 minutes. Bryan ain't going to be wrestling in gymnasiums or in bingo halls. Daniel Bryan's going to go to G1 Supercard and battle CM Punk in a main event that is going to tear the internet walls down. You mean to tell me Punk ain't going to come out of retirement for a match with Daniel Bryan? I would be shocked if the man says no. We know Phil Brooks is keen on saying no when people ask him about professional wrestling. There's no way anybody can convince me Phil Brooks would say no to a match with Daniel Bryan at G1 Supercard in Madison Square Garden. That would be the biggest fuck you to WWE, I think, in the history of fuck yous. Daniel Bryan's not going to be wrestling in gyms. He's not going to be wrestling in gymnasiums and fucking bingo halls. And he's not going to be wrestling in backyards. He's not going to be doing bar mitzvahs. He's not going to be dressing as fucking Bingo the Clown or Bozo the Clown. You know, at some fucking child's birthday party doing magic tricks. You know? This guy is going to make more money than he could ever imagine. And a wrestling earthquake is going to be felt. The wars that we felt with WCW and WWE are going to be in the form of New Japan / Ring of Honor, WWE. Daniel Bryan, I've said it once and I will say it again. If Daniel Bryan, and some people are already on their conspiracy theories, that Bryan will not sign and that he's going to show up at All In. If Daniel Bryan does not sign with the WWE, he holds the keys to what very well could be a shift in the professional wrestling industry that we have not seen since the Attitude Era days, since the Monday Night Wars. Daniel Bryan, CM Punk, Kenny Omega, Matt and Nick Jackson, Cody Rhodes, Marty Scurll, Hangman Page, and everybody involved with that group of individuals. There will be another war in professional wrestling. There will be competition for WWE. With New Japan wanting to break into the United States, if that is the case, WWE is in serious fucking trouble. Because with Bryan comes Punk. With Punk and Bryan, a worldwide takeover of wrestling is on its way with those group of individuals. With Bryan, that potentially leads to others who want to leave for New Japan and Ring of Honor to join them. If you're a free agent in WWE, why stay with the WWE when you could go join these guys and run the fucking business and shift the way the business is changing? When people are fed up with WWE and sick of the shit that we're getting, the regurgitated garbage that people continuously and willingly just scoop up with a fucking spoon as if they're eating fucking ice cream like the fat slobs that you are. You're going to continue watching WWE, neglect everything else, give you creative fucking garbage, push Roman Reigns down everybody's fucking throat, and neglect everything else to put all their eggs in the Roman basket, to have a world champion on your fucking show, on your flagship show that doesn't show up at all. For 3-hour torturous Monday Night Raws every week. Bryan holds the keys to a potential fucking earthquake that this wrestling industry has not seen in a very long time. Not only will he change the face of this business by going over to New Japan, but Daniel Bryan could easily sway, and the actions of Bryan with Punk coming back could easily sway a lot of people. With Bryan going over there, Omega don't sign, Matt and Nick Jackson don't sign. They continue doing what they're doing now, where they don't even need the WWE to begin with. The WWE is merely a pipe dream for everybody in this business. Just to say, yeah, I worked it. Yeah, I main evented WrestleMania. Yeah, I won the world title at WrestleMania. There you go. WWE is used right now as a fucking footnote, as a line on a resume. Kenny Omega and Young Bucks don't need WWE. They're making more money now, having more fun, running their own schedules, doing what they want, more so than they would ever see in the WWE. Why would the Young Bucks go to WWE? Do you see the state of tag team wrestling in WWE right now? Why the fuck would you go to WWE if you are a tag team? No, in WWE, they break up the Young Bucks and put Matt and Nick Jackson on solo runs. WWE is in serious fucking trouble. And if you don't think they're thinking about this shit, you're a fucking goddamn fool. Why do you think they signed Matt Riddle to a 3-year deal? Why do you think WWE, last I heard, is interested in Pentagon Jr. and Phoenix? Can you imagine Pentagon in WWE? I can't. 205 Live bound for sure. WWE is snatching everybody up because they are fucking scared. They want everybody under their umbrella because they don't want anybody going anywhere, making a name for themselves, and making a dent in their business. Can you imagine that, man? Bryan leaving the WWE. Normally, I would say, Bryan, don't leave WWE. Remain loyal. Your wife, your child. What WWE did for you in the 4 years to get you back in the ring. It only makes sense. But if Bryan wants to fuck WWE over, don't sign, go to New Japan, join the Elite, and run this business to a point where WWE will be shaking in their fucking boots. The top of a business, the top of a company with Bryan, Punk, Omega, and the Young Bucks and Cody Rhodes. If that don't have NWO takeover, if that don't have NWO takeover written all over it, I don't know what the fuck does. I'm sorry, man. Bryan may sign a short-term extension and continue negotiating with the WWE. Who the fuck knows? But all I know is if Bryan does not sign a WWE, hey, Bryan, I hear Kenny Omega doesn't have an opponent for All In September 1st. Your contract expires on September 1st, doesn't it? Wherever you are, I would book a round-trip ticket to Chicago. And if Bryan shows up at All In, if Punk is at All In, if Omega and Bryan happens at All In, I don't think the internet will be accessible for that entire weekend. Bryan, I don't care where he goes or if he stays. All I know is Bryan holds the keys to what could very well be a shift in this industry unlike we've ever seen before. There's already a shift happening. Bryan, he's going to swing New Japan into the United States. They're going to be knocking on WWE's door. And at that point, if WWE needs a competitor for Monday night, what's that? New Japan Pro Wrestling? You know? What's that New Japan Monday Night Raw or Monday Night Wars again? This ain't no fucking Impact. This ain't no Hogan Bischoff run Impact Wrestling. I will put them up against Monday Night Raw, and you know what? I think they get better ratings than Raw. That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say here. I'm getting the fuck out of here. I'm sweating my balls off, and I got shit to do. Thank you guys so very much. Off the Script may be late on Saturday. May be late on Saturday. Just like I said, I'll be in Jersey. But other than that, thank you guys so very much. I will talk to you all very soon. Hit that thumbs up on this video, please. It does help out the SEO. It does help out the search. And I will be back on Saturday for part 2 of Off the Script.